Hi, Janina. How are you?
Hi.
Hello, Radhika. How are you?
I'm good. Let me just put the volume up.
I'm gonna pop back a little.
That's it. Can you hear me now? Yeah, that's good.
I'm okay. How are you? Sometimes
I'm good.
so close.
Shall I say?
Okay?
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure that the lights are.
I think
But
you're
maybe.
fine. You look beautiful as usual.
Well, I tried to do my eyeliner, especially for you.
Well, I think this
Mine went wrong, as always. But
Oh, why does that always happen? It even happens to me.
I don't know.
Balancing.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so I thought, let me make it up.
Hi guys. Hi guys. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so today I've invited Radhika here for our, I don't even know which episode we're on now, for what a bride needs to know. And you're going to tell us all about dance and entertainment and choreography. And this is what you do. You live and breathe this, don't you, Radhika?
I do. But you know what? I forgot something. I forgot to tell everybody that I'm on your account. So if anyone else is watching, do you mind just sharing a post? That'd be really cool for anyone that's getting married that might be interested in watching this live. That would be really, really great, I think, Sophia, if that's okay.
Of course.
I'm just going to take 1 second to do this. So we can try and get everyone to watch live now.
Hi, Tanya. Hi, Damini. How you doing? Guys, okay? So today we're talking about dance and choreography and all these kind of things that are like sort of entertainment related. And this is what Radhika does all the time. How are you doing? Damini, are you okay? How is everyone? Thank you. Thank you, Damini. How's everybody been? Tell me how you've been.
Done.
Hey, Tanya. Twice in one day. Bumped into you twice in one day.
All right, I'm done.
As we're still in lockdown. Are we still in lockdown? It's lifted completely now. Like I've kind of lost track. All I know is I'm not allowed to work. That's what I know. That's all I know. Yeah. Okay. Are you ready? Excellent.
Ready.
Introduce yourself, because obviously I know all the amazing things you do. But just introduce yourself. Give us a bit of background, how you got into dance, and tell us all about what you do.
Yeah, so basically I've been dancing all my life pretty much, and I say that because I've been dancing literally since I could move, stand up, whatever you want to call it. And I think this stems from my parents and my dad specifically, because he's always been playing music. And you know what? I've grown up dancing to, my first track that I was dancing to was Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan.
Oh my God, legend. I love him.
Allahu was like one of the ones.
Oh my God.
And you know what? When you watch the baby video, it's like epic. So and I only watched them the other day because I really wanted to see, you know, it's nice to just watch and relive those moments. So yeah, I've always danced, and then I've danced at people's weddings as you grow up, do community events and all of that. And it was always
how you got into it then? You started doing, were you asked, did somebody notice that you've got like this flair about you? Because it's not just, lots of kids dance, you know, but not everybody goes into a profession.
I think that's because of society, and back then it wasn't deemed appropriate to be a dancer or even a choreographer, or, you know, it just wasn't the right thing.
Big stigma, isn't it?
Yeah, big thing. And my parents, I'll be honest, they were very supportive of me dancing. It just wasn't a job. And it wasn't a career, you know. So I didn't pursue it, you know, at that time. However, I went to uni, I graduated, and I worked, and then I became a teacher. So I did another course, a PGCE. And then
that probably comes in quite handy with your teaching now, with your choreography.
definitely. And it's well, I'll jump onto that in a minute. But
Yeah.
when I was teaching, you know, there were lots of changes made in the government and stuff, and I wanted to enjoy what I do still. So I left teaching but carried on teaching dance, and I started that. I mean, for someone who started at 30, I'll say to a lot of people, it's never too late.
Wow. That is
30,
incredible. You don't even look 30 now.
um,
Our audience is
I'm
going to think
33
like.
now. So that is when I actually made it an income. And, you know, till then I was doing it professionally for groups and, you know, for other people. And at 30, I made the decision to pack in my teaching job, which, you know, it is really, I would say, scary, because you've gone from a fixed income like anyone, and you are then, you know, you're thinking, and you don't know how much you're going to earn that month, and you know, but because it was my passion, it is my passion, you know, you make it happen. And I started off by doing classes, basically doing everything but just getting paid for what I love doing. So, you know, it's a total jackpot. With
How that feels. Um,
yeah.
so how did you get into the wedding side? Because it's quite a, sometimes it's a bit of a difficult industry to get into, isn't it? Because there's so much competition. So what, did you get like some kind of break, or what was it?
I think with, because I've been doing it since I've been young, in the sense of dancing, entertaining, you know, I'm that person at a party where you can't get off the dance floor. I start
Yeah.
the party, I start on there and I finish on there. So like I'm the last one there, and I think because I have a lot of family and friends that know this, it was quite easy for me to start choreographing and, you know, just getting into the wedding industry, because a lot of people know that I already do this. And I think that's the thing now, that is, you get a lot of people just jumping on like doing it, and when someone like me who's been doing it for a long time, it's a lot easier because people know what I already do. So I was quite lucky in that sense, that, you know, have a very supportive network,
Yeah.
who help encourage and push and spread the word, you know. Yeah, and once you start doing a couple, it's very easy then to get more work, because people recommend you, they love what you do, and it's just amazing, really. Like,
Do you
that's the
think
thing.
before it was more dancing for the wedding to come along as entertainment, and do you think now it's more the choreographer side, or was it balanced then and it's balanced now?
Do you know what? That's a good question, because it changes every year.
Oh really?
And I think that it's really strange, actually, because, well, it's not strange, but it is in a way, because I would say there are seasons, and some months you have where people just want performers, and some months you have where it's just hardcore choreography. And that's why I love doing, well, providing everything dance related, because throughout the year I get to do so many different things. And there's like those couple of months where I'm doing party entertainment, and then there's a couple of months where it's hardcore wedding first dance, and then, you know, you got the Mendy nights as well, and there's so much to it. But yeah, I think it just depends. It's like each year is different, to be fair, and I love that. Love the style. I like the variation of that. It's good because you get a nice break from each one.
Yeah.
So it's quite.
What do you think brides need to do in what questions do you think are good to ask somebody like yourself, to kind of save them time, and sort of what are the red flags, and people kind of say, you know, to what kind of things should they be avoiding? Because sometimes I mean, the whole purpose of this series is to save brides time, so that when they go and search for their
Yeah,
what they're looking for, whichever
there's a
supplier.
lot of things that I advise couples, and I say couples because when I choreograph for first dances, often 99% of the time, women ring me up and say, oh, you know, we really want to do a first dance. However, my partner has got 2 left feet.
Yeah.
And that is the standard thing. And to be fair, by the end of it, they're both looking as good as each other.
Wow.
So, you know, it's really nice. I think the women need to give the men a bit more of a chance from beforehand.
Maybe men just say that. Maybe they're secretly like, I don't know, Elvis Presley. But
I can see why they might say that, because it's like a woman's thing to dance, right? It's still not quite out there like that men are just as good as women, you know, when it comes to dancing. But especially with the first dance, because that's like a hashtag cringe thing where the guy's like, yes, you made me do it, you know. But secretly you can see that satisfaction inside, and you can see them enjoying it so much. So it is totally like,
Radhika, you are a firecracker on the dance floor. I love your energy. That is the kind of thing that it says. Twinkle.
Oh, Twinkle. Hey, Twinkle.
That is the kind of, that's exactly what people want, isn't it? They want that full-on energy. They want that, you know, the room to just be uplifted, and it's a big pressure on you as an individual. Do you miss working with a group?
No, I don't. I like doing what I do. I don't miss performing so much in a group because it has its pros and cons. Well, I prefer choreographing because, you know what, my aim in life when it came to anything was to always make sure that I can give back to whatever I do. And initially, years ago, I wanted to work in health promotion. So I wanted to help the community. So in this case, even when it came to teaching and stuff, it's giving back to children. So here I'm teaching adults dance. And I love the start of the project to the end and seeing what they were at the beginning and the product. That is like the best, because that's just like how it was for me at school, where I see children from reception growing up teaching, and then you see them towards the end and you're like, wow, this is just brilliant. And
then to give somebody that on such a special day of their life is remarkable. How long do you think they need to be getting in touch with you in advance? Is it like a year? Because obviously, or do you think if they're quite good on it, quite good? Like, for example, if I thought I was quite a good dancer, should I? Like,
so this is so some people contact me a year in advance, and some people contact me a month. So
wow.
It is not
extra sessions. Do you squash it into the month, or do you?
Well, it just depends on the availability, because some months are really, really busy, jam-packed, and with wedding season, not only am I choreographing for others, but then say if I've got my own weddings, family close, you know, then you're tied with that as well. And I think what people need to remember is that what they do is they leave it to last. And with wedding and entertainment, I think that's one of the key things that they need to think about. Theming, if they are theming the weddings, then they need to think about it for the wedding events and the reception, and, you know, all the sangeet, wherever they want to, you know, perform. Because some couples that have booked me, they've performed, say, at their sangeet, and then they've done their first dance as well. So this is something that they should, I would say, at least 4 months beforehand. At least, even if you book me. So some couples book me the year before, and then, you know, at least
until like 4 months. Yeah, that makes sense.
Definitely. Because I allocate that time. See, I have a diary, and I always ensure that I don't take on like a certain amount of bookings, to make sure that I can give that quality time to couples during that month, because I don't want to be stretching myself out, you know. And also I want to make sure that if they do need extra sessions, then I've got the time to give them. So that is really important, that people get in touch.
Do they come to you?
Well, it just depends on the base, because I can go there, or they can come to me. It depends whatever works for the couple, because sometimes, well, actually not sometimes, most of the time, couples have done choreographed dances as a surprise. So yeah, so when it's a surprise, then yeah, we're definitely like
sometimes they don't actually want anyone to know that
definitely.
They just want people to think that they're magic. They turn into these amazing twinkle toes.
I think that's amazing. You know, if they don't want someone to know, or everyone to know. I think it's good, only in this case, well, I'll say that some part of my top tips, which I'll go over later, is that they should practice in front of a couple of people, because on the day it can be absolutely nerve-wracking if you've not done that before.
Yeah.
But a lot of people like it as a surprise, and to be fair, I always encourage people to keep it as a surprise, because you want that element of wow. Like, you know, for example, my wedding, we didn't do a first dance. And everyone's like, whoa, you didn't do a first dance. Yeah, a choreographed one. Yeah. And everyone was expecting it, you know. Instead we just freestyle.
It's like, is it you cut the cake and then you have your first dance? Is that how it goes?
Yeah. That is like a standard thing. When I plan and I sit down, because there's a journey here, right? And when a couple comes to me, or even, you know, a bride or a groom, I plan their actual, the whole, from the music, the lighting, to the actual like entrance, how they're going to come in. And I love to make sure that whatever they're doing is different from other people, because I want their wedding dance to be remembered however it is. So I'll make sure that I go out my way to think of the best like dance choreo. And it's not just about the choreo, it's about how we use the outfit, you know, there's so many things involved. But for me, it is very competitive, actually. I won't mind. Like, I have to make sure that they do the best, like, come up.
I would be like, oh my God, I would not let my husband be better than me. I'd be like, look, stand to one side. This is my go.
Okay, solo. So, you know, in some of the wedding dances, some of the girls go solo, and it's awesome. It hypes up the guy, I think, as well, to kind of like do it better.
Definitely. You see,
and they feel that
on YouTube and sort of all over social media, and they become like, they go viral, don't they? So it's such high energy, and it's such an amazing part of the wedding. That even a little clip that someone takes, you know, and uploads, it can just go viral, can't it?
It's true. Actually, Avnish is on. Avnish, he's a photographer. I'm still waiting for those pictures. The last wedding I choreographed, he took the pictures. I know you're going to send them to me after this. Send me those photos, buddy, so that I can post them up and share them. You know, and actually this last wedding that I choreographed for a really, really lovely couple, yeah, for a lovely couple, they did not like, wow, it was just like an out of the world. It was an entrance dance, no one expected it, you know, it was just full of surprises, and they both danced their hearts out. And Avnish was there. See, that entrance was epic.
So for the reception, because normally the bride and groom have separate, like, especially with Southeast Asian weddings, they normally, the first part, at least the religious ceremony, at least, there's usually separate.
Yeah, this is more for the reception. We don't really do well, in our Asian, we don't really have dances in the mandap, but what we do is bridal entrances. So we had a really good like bridal entrance for mine, and you know, there's loads of different things. I mean, the thing is, right, it depends on you and as a person, and I think this is one of the biggest things I can advise anyone.
Says you did a fab job in Goa. And as said, that entrance was epic. I feel like I need to see this entrance now. Like, I feel like too much talk is going on.
Do you know what? I want to upload it, but I don't like uploading videos. I like uploading the pro stuff, and it's so hard to get the pro stuff off people. So, Avnish, I'll be waiting so I can show pictures. Yeah. So, what was I saying? Sorry. I was talking about
when they come in for the reception.
Yeah, so when they are no, I wasn't saying that. I was saying something else.
I'm saying about the mandap, they don't.
Oh yeah, that's
that. And so they normally do.
It's about thinking about your guests, right? And for some people who are having big weddings, you really are doing a wedding for them, right? That's just the truth. So if you're going to do your wedding for them, then you want to think about what kind of stuff your people like, and you won't please everybody. But the point is to make it entertaining for them as well as yourself. So when I say the first dance is for the couple, it is, but it's really for everybody else as well. So you want to put on whatever you think those people are going to enjoy. Whereas the 3-minute let's do a isn't going to go down, and everyone just sits there anyway looking at each other.
Awkward, can't it? It can be awkward.
It is awkward. I think it's easier to have a light-hearted, even if it's not 100% choreographed and there's a bit of freestyle in there, I always suggest to people to do stuff that they're comfortable with. So when I'm working with a couple, I really make sure that they are so comfortable with their choreography and it's not difficult at all, because the last thing you want people doing is stressing or feeling pressurized or forgetting steps, and that is not cool whatsoever. So I always make sure that the couples are like in their flow, in their element, especially the men, because I think it's most nerve-wracking for them, really, to be fair. Yeah, I think it's
their
more.
friends are going to be there and everything, and if they're
Yeah,
not normally a dancer, it could be.
and then they get the whole, oh, you're under the thumb, you know, you did a first dance, you're whipped, and you get all that. But I think, damn, you got balls, mate, if you just did that. So, you know, good on. Biggest shout out to all the men that do wedding dances. Well done, guys, because we don't want that to stop. Yeah. So, you know, I think it's really
a surprise. I mean, I've seen them on. The thing is, for me and dancers don't really cross paths. The only time I might see them is when I'm leaving, and maybe they're arriving, or even the DJ, etc. So I don't really have in my job. I don't have any sort of day-to-day mixing with them. But so what I do see is obviously all based on YouTube and stuff that goes viral. And you do get quite a lot of men who surprise the women, don't you? With these like.
Those are the real romantic.
I mean, a couple of years ago, it was like a big trend. They were just like constantly releasing.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was like over in America or.
I had a client, and I won't name names obviously, but he was amazing. He hired me to choreograph his Sangeet, and he did his Sangeet dance, and he did a surprise part for his wife to be in the boys' dance that he hired me to choreograph. And then also he had hired me for his sister and their friends and all of that. So even though the bride and groom hire me, they also hire me for all their family and their friends. And it's really cool because I get to work with all of them, and it's so nice to teach them like all the different styles. And, you know, as a family, I think it's just really nice. And the amount of time that you spend with these people, it's just so, it's lovely because
these people are part of the family.
Yeah, they treat you like their own.
Yeah, and then the food, oh my God. It's the real reason why we're in the.
I don't have time to eat though, I'll tell you that.
I know, everyone's like, oh, Sophia, eat. And I'm like, no, seriously, I need to get you guys ready. And they're like, oh, you haven't had a break. And I'm like, no, seriously.
Yeah.
Okay, so going on from that, how many people can you do a choreography for? Because Asian families are big, aren't they?
Yeah.
Do you find it a lot of pressure, or do you have like a limit, or is there like, do you need to have at least this amount of people? Do you say, oh no, it's good if you have 8 people for this dance, or how does it all work?
Generally I don't have a limit. I've never, you know, I have been asked a couple of times, but there isn't such a thing as a limit, right? Because it's a dance and it's all about movement. So I just say as long as there's space on the dance floor, because at you can't create that space.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the most amount of people that you would have in a dance would be for mostly the finale.
Yeah.
Because normally people, they do a medley, and so people are in and out. So I have taught choreography to groups of say 30 to 50 people in one dance at the most, and that's because they're coming in and out.
That's an amazing amount of people.
Yeah, it's fun. It's really fun.
So do you do it like online so that everyone can kind of learn from home, or do you, how do you
no.
Or do you have everybody come to your
So we, depending on where they're based, I'll go there or they come to me, like whatever's accessible for them. And then we do it in groups per song. So it's not everybody is there at the same time, because you want to use time efficiently, right? You don't want to waste time. And I think this is what a lot of people, they don't understand that at the beginning. They're like, oh yeah, so we're all going to be there. I'm like, you don't all need to be there. Just people are doing this track. Okay, I'm going to use these guys, so they all need to be there. And then I create a WhatsApp group with the whole group of people that are going to dance, and then I communicate. So basically I just take the lead. So once a client has booked me, I'll then just say, right, create that WhatsApp group, and then I lead it from there. I arrange this rehearsals, locations, the music, everything from start to finish.
Do they give
So,
you the music, or do you decide that, look, this song is we're gonna work on with this track? Or because a lot of people, I imagine, are going to be quite particular about what music is playing.
that's a good thing, actually. Music for me is really, 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 really important when we're dancing. You know, especially with these choreographed dances that you're putting on for entertainment purposes. However, I think it should be more personal. So, having said that, a lot of people say you choose, and my choice is obviously different to their choice and their guest. So, I always try to encourage people to give a couple of tracks at least, because I can put together a medley, no problem, but you want it to fit around your guests, you know? So, I always try to push for them to give me songs, especially that the bride and groom like, or you know, family. Whereas when it's a bride and groom doing a first dance choreo, then they generally actually they give me what they want to do, and that should be something that's meaningful to them, really.
Yeah, definitely. Somebody has put, how do you, or traveling with B put, how do you help to choreograph people with 2 left feet?
All right.
Some people do
wrote
have 2
that?
left feet, you know. This was written by Traveling with B.
Okay, good question. Oh, have I frozen?
Yeah, you have. I think what happens is sometimes if you try to go out, it freezes.
Okay, what do I do?
Comments. I'm not quite sure. Do you want to leave and come back?
I just press X and then come back. Yeah.
Yeah, let's try that. Traveling with B, you broke the internet for us with your question about 2 left feet. She's just coming back. Hi, Rini. Hi, guys. Thanks to everybody for joining. It's so nice to see you all. And here we go. She is back. Just waiting for her to come back.
Hi, I'm back. That's okay. I travelled out and then came back in. So yeah, no. My job is to get whoever is coming to me for a session to learn a dance. My job is to make you comfortable in dancing so that you can go out and put on a good performance. Yeah, and I do my job.
Yeah,
I do very well.
Some people,
some
people really struggle.
Yeah, people struggle, but the trick is for me to understand how you are as a learner, which is where my teaching skills come in, and what to choreograph that suits you and your style. And if I can't get that right, you won't feel comfortable to go out there and put on your performance.
Do you work with them in terms of nerves as well? Because it is really nerve-wracking, isn't it? Do you do
the whole teaching process is like, how do I explain? There are so many skills that you develop in that teaching process where I am teaching you a wedding dance piece, you know, and you yourself probably wouldn't realize till you look back and think, wow, I can do this, that, or I did this, that. And I think that's because collectively you think all you're doing is learning steps and putting them together and dancing, but there's so much more to it. And confidence is something that I have to instill in you, that you have to grow confident in order to dance on your special day. And that comes from when I'm working with you in your sessions, definitely. Like I said, it's all about me understanding you as a learner, the bride and groom working together, because I tell you now, oh my goodness, sometimes we have a little fun.
Do you referee?
Yeah,
I think it's really stressful.
Get frustrated.
Not getting it. I can imagine I would be quite cross as well.
Come on, put your leg that way. I told you. And so what? There are rules I have to put at the beginning and say, right, guys, I'm the teacher. you can't tell each other off. I tell you off, basically. And that helps actually manage a lot of frustration between the two, because you want them to go home happy.
It's a really nice way for couples to bond as well, isn't it? Before.
Yeah, I think it depends what you like as a couple, because like I said, if you're being forced into this, which some couples have forced each other, then it's not so nice. But then I think it takes a couple of sessions to break the ice between the two and get that understanding, you know, that what is the purpose you're here for at the end of the day. And when they realize, well, when they think about that and realize what it is they want to achieve from it, then they kind of just forget the rest and they put their heart into it, and they realize that it's not so difficult, because I think that's what they think, is that it's going to be really hard. I think that's because of what we see on social media, and it doesn't have to be hard. It's what works for you as a couple. So the choreography,
the most simple dance, when it fits with love, it can
true
portray so much, and it can be really moving. It doesn't have to be all singing, all dancing, does it? It can be just gentle and real and slow and well timed.
Yeah, and there's a lot of factors that make a good wedding dance, and choreography is not the end all and, you know, of everything. There's things like, you know, using your outfit, and it's also about how the couple interact with each other. And when I see that interaction, then I can use some of that interaction in the choreography. So it's not just about steps, it's about acting, expression, singing. There's so much eye contact. You know what? A lot of couples can't make eye contact with each other.
Just, you know what? I can't still make I've been married
my husband, I'll
years. And I can't. When I look at him, I just crack up. He's so
when you're doing slow track, that's something where you grow to be able to do. So it's really like the skills that and the, what do I say, skills between the two that they, you know, develop. It's really cool, and it's really nice to see them grow together as well. And it's like a little project, actually.
Yeah,
like a fun project
we can do together. So what kind of things can go wrong on the day? What do brides need to avoid?
Okay, so this goes well with my top tips, because a lot of the time it's the outfit, I'll be honest.
Really?
That ends up getting stuck or something or the other. Or, you know what, it's just the outfit, really. And I think that comes through people not practicing. I mean, I've only had it once happen. And from that day, I made sure that all my brides practice in their outfits a couple of times at least. And since then, it's been
met with resistance, because I can imagine if it was my special day, I would be like, no way.
No.
In that.
But when I explain why, then they're like, oh yeah, no, we got to try it on with the outfit. And they realize that, wow, if I didn't try it on, you know, beforehand, then
the dress can be so heavy.
It is heavy. And I think a lot of
the way it's all pinned and everything,
they don't take the dress into consideration when they're buying it, that they might be doing the first dance. And I think then they have that regret and say, oh, I wish I bought something lighter.
Yeah.
So,
or even less fluffy, because sometimes they can be really going out there, and if your other half is like 1 meter away from you,
yes, that means then we're at a bit of a challenge with doing the lift, like the good cleanliness lift, because you've got that kind of an outfit where the husband can just about see you, and it's like, oh, where's the feet? Where's the feet? So really, you know, I would say that when you're planning your wedding and you're going to do your wedding shopping and you're planning your outfit, always think about your first dance and can you dance in that? Because on the day, well, when you start learning that dance, and then I say, oh guys, you need to try on your outfits, and you look at me, you're like, oh, and then you put it on and you're like, I can't move in this. Then we're at the barrier, you know. Then I have
don't forget, it's not just your outfit. Once you've got your outfit, you know, it's going to be pinned, and that's not going to be pinned until the day, so you have no idea how restricted you may be in terms of that. So that's something to consider as well. Plus your jewelry. Honestly, some of the brides,
Movements, you know, if you've got straps and one snaps, what do you do? And I don't like to scare clients, but I want to save you.
yeah,
Like,
absolutely. It's better to know before.
my job, I've choreographed this dance. You're going to do it. If anything happens to you, my name's on that dance.
Yeah,
My name's going to be right. And that kind of ruins my credibility and what I do. And, you know, I wouldn't want that on anyone. So it's something that I very, very much encourage, like a couple of sessions beforehand, that we must try on the outfits with the shoes. So important, ladies, get those shoes on, get dancing in those shoes. You know, because if you don't put those shoes on,
sometimes jewelry's coming like halfway down, like to the stomach. Do you know what I mean? To the belly button. So, you know, all these things, or like really long earrings, you know, if it gets caught into something, these are all things to consider.
That always happens to me. Every time I go to a wedding or an event. But that's just because I'm just a bit of a nutter on the dance floor.
Oh, God.
That's I always come home with one earring. And one let me talk about my top tips before I forget. So I wrote them down so I made sure I remember. Okay, so my top tips for anyone that's going to do a wedding dance: make sure you practice in your outfit, which we talked about. Yeah, outfit and shoes. And for the men, this applies to them also as well, because a lot of them wear jackets. Yeah, and many of the time they have a lot of arm restrictions, so then we have to resort to a waist jacket instead, or we use a jacket and we get rid of it later, you know, as part of the dance. Secondly, when we rehearse, I take a lot of videos, and those videos are for the bride and groom to look at and to watch. And even if you can't practice a lot, but watch the videos, that's really good, you know, and that helps to kind of get it in there, you know, and you just learn a lot and
That's
you
true,
retain.
I've had that with clients before, where I've gone to do their makeup and they're like, do you mind if I just have this on repeat? And they're just watching the same video over. I'm like, no, I don't mind, as long as you keep your head still.
Yeah,
whatever you do. But yeah, I have seen people do that.
Watch the videos, because videos help, and you don't realize how much they help till you then go to dance and you're like, oh my god, I remember it, like amazing, you know. And number 3, practice in different rooms and locations. Now this sounds a bit funny, but it can be very, very weird if we've done it in one room one way and then suddenly you're put in another room in a different way. And generally how I teach a wedding dance is I want to know your layout, so that I can put you in that position straight away, and that it's not awkward after. But if you practice in different rooms and locations, like we could go do it in the garden, inside, outside, a different room, it just helps you to get a bit more comfortable and get over that feeling on the day where everyone's watching you and looking at you.
Yeah, that's really scary.
I would highly recommend that. It's a bit of a strange one, but if you do that, it helps a lot.
It makes a lot of sense when you think about it, but you wouldn't think of it, you know. You wouldn't.
And at the same time, I would say you should try and practice in front of a few people, just to understand how that feeling, how that anxious, nervous feeling would be of you doing it on the day. Because if you can overcome that a couple of times, then on the day it will be a piece of cake. And we all know nerves get the better of us. There's nothing
for anything.
Every time I perform, or even when someone else performs, my tummy is turning, like I have butterflies, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you just don't want it to, you know, work in the other way. So
yeah, when you're getting into a tears and, you know,
and also with the music, even though a lot of the couples choose the music, I would say make sure you know your music and you learn your songs, so that if there is lip syncing that you can do, it just adds to the So I for a lot of people that don't like the singing element of the dancing, I'd say, okay, just learn the chords. They're like, yeah, I will. I'll do it on the day. No, I need to now.
You're evil, aren't you?
No, trust me, on the day it doesn't happen, right? Everything's got to happen from the beginning, because the more you do it, the more it becomes natural to do.
Mm-mm-mm.
So if you start doing it from session one, I would say there's about 10, it sounds like a lot, but 10 little mini things that if you can get right from the first session go, I never wait to rectify, because I think if you're constantly doing it from the first session, then it becomes natural and you don't need to worry after. And then I'm not even telling you in the last session, oh, take your hand back, because that's like piece of cake. That's something that you know that you just have to do, and you don't even think about it, because towards the end session there are other things that I need to remind you about, and those 10 things, they're the minor things that are brushed away, you know, from the first session. So those are my top tips. Five top tips: practice in your outfit, watch your videos, practice in a different location, practice in front of people, and learn the songs. And that makes such a big difference, because it adds to the expression, it adds to the ambiance. It just, there's so many things that it affects, and it's so nice when you can get all of that happening.
What are the top trends right now? So for brides, obviously now we're in lockdown, and with the whole corona, obviously it's put a massive down on things. We can't do things the way we normally do. But if we weren't in that situation and coming to when we can go back to normal, or whatever the new normal is, what are the top trends?
Before, the trend was the whole Sangeet night entertainment. So though I choreograph and loads of people do dances, family dances, friends dances, and all of that for the Sangeet nights. I also provide interactive dance entertainment. So that's basically like I dance and you copy me. And what I do is I play some games and I interact with your whole audience. And, you know, this could be from the 100 to the 500 people that you have at your
you do the games as well. It's not just dancing.
I personalize every event that I do because I want it to be memorable. And the trend is that entertain your guests, because everyone is in a bit of a competition. I'm not going to lie. Absolutely. And I'm sure inside they want to put on the best event, right? So you want to put on entertainment that people go away leaving, you know.
So fun. I love that. Yeah, you know, that's the kind of feeling.
They were involved and, you know, they got to take part, because the worst thing is going to an event. You go, you eat, you say hi to everyone, you sit down, listen to a bit of music, and then you go. And what better way than to have entertainment where you can get involved, where you feel like, wow, they made it special for us, you know? And that's what people want. So I provide that interactive dance entertainment. I do that even when clients hire me, and even when there are like 10 dances going on. Some people can't get enough, you know? And it's just so, the atmosphere is buzzing. And people talk for weeks off. They remember because they were part of it. And that goes without saying. Whenever you're part of something.
Actually, I've had, when we've been to weddings and just some events, actually, even some parties, like birthday parties and things like that, and you think, oh, do you remember that thing was really cool, what they did, or that was really nice, or, you know, every little aspect is a big difference. So definitely, I think that's really important to get that down. Do you think that the group dances is still fashionable, or
so that's that thing that I was talking about earlier, that how every year is different. Yeah, it changes. Though in some communities is a bit more popular than others. I think it just depends. Some people like performances. It depends on the type of guest you have. If you have that type of audience, though, they just want to watch, then that's the one. And sometimes I end up performing and then doing my interactive dance stuff. So everyone likes a bit of everything, but I think it just depends on the family and what they want for their guests.
Can everybody what if you're a bigger bride and, you know, maybe like plus size bride? Can you still work with?
Of course. Oh my goodness. You know, plus size brides, I want to work with you because I'm all up for that. you know, showing off what you got, basically. And just because you're a plus size, there is nothing wrong with, you know, you. And I think it depends on your confidence. And if you have a friend who's a plus size, you get them to talk to me, because I will help you to make sure that they, if they are a dance lover and you think that they just need a bit of a push, then, you know, I will definitely be able to help. I mean, look at these, you've got that Karishma Chavan, who's a famous Bollywood, you know, dancer in Mumbai, and she's a plus size, but she's amazing. Like, she can move. So,
I don't
you
think
know,
some people can still be bigger and still really, really fit. Like, I've seen some videos on YouTube and you just think, gosh, like, how do they do it? But I don't think actually you can be really skinny and not be very flexible as well.
yeah.
So I think, you know, I don't think if you're bigger, it means you're not.
Yeah, because it's not so much about the size. I think it's about you and your expression and your love. And if you enjoy it, then it will work for you. If you don't, then that's absolutely fine. It's not something for you. Then it will be like one of those men that you're trying to force into doing a couple's dance. So yeah, I don't know.
Icebreakers for the audience, because sometimes you must have like a really stiff audience. How do you warm them up?
Easy.
You do.
I do have a lot of audiences that sit there and watch me, and I'm like, hey guys, I didn't come to sit here and be watched. I came to entertain you. You're going to come to the dance floor. And within 2 songs, or maybe 1, I'll have half, and then I won't say everybody joins. I'll say at least 90% join, and you're winning. And I think that comes from my personality, is that I don't give up in terms of making sure that clients hired me to entertain their guests. So for me, that is up there, and I'm like, I need to get these people on. So depending on what kind of event.
Have you ever had it where they're just not warming up, but you've had to kind of go to like, or no?
I think it generally happens in a lot of Asian events, because they're all looking at each other, who's going to get up first, like, you know.
Shy, yeah. Because there is
and I
think stigma, isn't it?
Yeah, there is. But I think, again, this depends on the family, right? So if you know that your guests are going to love this, then it's an easy no-brainer. But when I do have difficult parties, I don't know, I just connect with people in the audience, and it depends on, you know, if I speak the language that they do, then I talk in not English and I win people over. So for me, it's all about how I win those people over, depending on where I am and what type of event it is. And I use a bride and groom, and I'm like, guys, come on, it's a wedding, you know, I've come here to do this. You know, but I haven't had so many of them. Even if I did, I would be scared. Like, it's something that happens, but I kind of
feel your energy. You know, I can't imagine that you would find it.
I'm very confident that I can always, get people on the dance floor. I mean, if I've been doing it all my life and it happens, then when I'm doing it, I get paid. It's a piece of cake, really. I'm not gonna lie.
10 minutes to go, Radhika. The hour just goes so fast every week.
No way! Oh my god!
10 minutes left. Can we?
Wait, I have to talk to you about something.
Okay, let's go for it.
Yeah, I have to talk to you about, and I touched on this earlier, but it's really important for bride and grooms to, when they're planning their wedding, because we get put last, right, in terms of contacting. And then it's like, oh, I really want to do a first dance. But I think this is something that if you think about from the beginning, and like I said, when you're theming it, then you can theme the music, and you can even theme things that happen in your sangeet. And I guess it depends on how big you do your wedding and how many guests you invite and all of that. But it's really important to think about all these little things, like the dance, the entrance, your friends and families. And I would always say that when you have a friends and family performance, to limit it to 5 minutes. People switch it off. And, you know, and that's not like me being rude, but it's just generally people's brains.
Try and keep important to know. This is the whole point. You know, we want
Yeah.
try, you know, we want to tell them what.
Try and keep it short and sweet so that people want more. They don't want to sit there throughout the whole, you know, evening and there's dance after dance after dance after dance after dance. And even if you have that many, you can spread it out. So you can have one before dinner, one after.
Neha Mehta says our dance was the best.
Oh, Neha, yeah. Do you know what? Yours was actually one of the best, definitely. Like, I remember their dance. I have actually. I'm gonna put some more stuff up. I love showcasing.
I need to see. Now we can't believe you. We need you to. I need you to tag me into your dance. I should be like the judge. This one was the best. Everyone's coming on claiming that they had the best time. So like, I feel like judge of that.
Yeah. So make sure you you know, give enough time in advance. And now I think we should talk about what's happening with COVID, because people are still getting married, and you know, I still want people to be able to do a first dance because they're getting married. So regardless of not, you know, you're going to look back on your day and you're going to think, oh no, I didn't do a first dance. So there's so many
things people are missing out on, that you really want to kind of make the most of all the things that you still can do. And actually maybe the budget you had for things that for other things to kind of invest a little bit more.
Oh, definitely. Because the first dance, it's like a traditional dance piece. Or even if you have a Sangeet, you can still do something online. I don't know how we're going to go with this COVID. It's very, very unpredictable, and for a lot of our suppliers we're finding it very difficult in terms of, you know, what the next steps are and stuff.
Okay.
But I'm teaching online, you know, and I'm teaching via physical distancing too. So for those people that are having weddings, it's still like we're still going with it. There is no reason why you can't have a first dance or a family dance. You know, there's enough space. You probably have less guests. But you want to create memories. And guess what? Even though you might not have loads of people at your wedding, I bet you could Zoom your wedding. And if you're doing a first dance, everyone's going to see it anyway.
And it's still going to be so special. And maybe, in fact, even more, that little bit extra special.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and you'll still get a video recording of it, which you would enjoy. So guys, don't cut out on the first dance. Don't keep that in the hit list of what you need.
Things you can do. Obviously, we can't do makeup yet, and I think even hairstyling is like, you know, a bit up in the air. So things that you can do, make the most of it, I guess, until the day we meet again. Right.
But you know what? Dancing is also really powerful. So even though you're doing it for, say, your wedding and whatever, it's a lot of the bride and grooms that don't argue, and even if they do argue, they enjoy this part of just chilling out and having a bit of free time, not thinking about wedding planning. Same with people that I've choreographed for family and friends and Geets and Mendi nights and all of that. They love to just have that fun. So I think that's a really important part. It's not about the performance on the day.
Partner as well. It's such a special way to bond with your partner in the run-up. It's like even when Sonali was on, we were talking about exercising and stuff, but just like working out and that nutrition journey, kind of, you know, going on that journey together. For the day where you're going to be together for the rest of your life. Kind of like, it makes a lot of sense.
And you hit the word journey. It's about that journey, and it's about the whole experience. It's not just about on the day. And I always say to people, don't worry if you make a mistake. I'm a teacher at the end of the day. I want you to enjoy the experience. It's not just about that dance. It's about what you guys did to get to that dance. So whatever happens on the day, it's absolutely fine. Just smile and do your
at least 4 months before. You can get in touch with you whenever, but I think about 4 months.
I would say if you know when you're going to get married, just let me know, and then I can start planning, because like I said, I only take on a certain amount of bookings per month now. Before I'd go out of my way to do every single booking in the world, but I've taken a different approach now, a bit of a smart one, and I'm only doing a couple a month. So that means that I can make sure that I've got that time and I'm not running back and forth. Like I said, it's all about, you know, helping whoever it is I'm teaching to make sure that they've got the right support they need till date.
Right, okay, final question, because we've got 5 minutes left. It just flies by.
I can't believe it. I was like, let's keep this short and sweet.
Right, okay, it's been so fun. What's the most difficult dance you have taught? What did you find the most challenging from your perspective, do you think? Or it's all water off a duck's back for you?
When it's not music that I'm familiar with, because then I need to go research that music. I need to understand the lyrics, because my choreography is based on lyrics and the beats. I don't choreograph unless I know what the song's about, so that it's relevant to that song, and so people can understand it. And when people watch a dance, I want them to think, oh yeah, like I remember. It should flashback something,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, definitely.
So for me, it has to be the most difficult challenge I've had till date, and that would be about any of the dances I've taught, is when I don't know the music. I've had to go away and really, really understand the words and just watch a few videos to get some inspiration. Yeah.
Amazing. All right, Radhika, I think we're going to wrap it up now. We've got 3 minutes to go. It's been such a pleasure to have you on. You've been amazing.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm so, so honoured.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Well, only the experts are allowed on this show. We've got 2 minutes remaining, so I am going to cut off here. Guys, thank you again for joining us. And
thank you everyone for joining on. Yes.
Bye, guys. I'm going to see. Someone's loving the series. That's so sweet. Thank you.
Awesome.
Bringing it to you, and you know, fantastic guests like Radhika. You're so special.
It's so much value, Sophia. Well done. Like, I'm sure you're helping a lot of brides and answering a lot of questions that people have. And if people take time out to watch them, they'll get a lot of value back.
I think they'll learn a lot. We've had some really amazing content, so I'm really, really pleased about it all. Right. Thank you. See you later. Bye. Guys. Thank you. See you later.
Bye.